Navigation in SwiftUI is such a mess. You have navigation link, which is a view, and then you have a sheet and full screen cover, which are view modifiers, and you have data handling. It's such a crazy thing. Alex here from Rebeloper, and if you do want to learn how I fixed navigation in SwiftUI, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Let's open up Xcode and let's dive in. Navigation in SwiftUI is quite cumbersome. You have navigation link, which is a view, and then you have a view modifier, sheet, full screen cover, and then you must have these state variables so you can toggle them on and off. Well, it is a nightmare if you have kind of a larger app. Don't get me even started on deep linking. How could we have deep links with these? Well, over 6 months, I've been working on NavigationStack. I've been tweaking it till this point when I'm releasing it to the public. As a reminder, I am also using NavigationStack on my own projects and on my clients' projects. So this is fully tested and it is working. Now, NavigationStack has so much more to offer than simple navigation in SwiftUI. For example, you can navigate to any view from any view, move data between views easily. It's perfect for deep links, easy 4-step setup. Navigate with only one line of code. Now you will absolutely love this. Supports navigation link, sheet and full screen covers on all of the basic navigation types. You can create a flow from any type of navigation. You just set this up and it will just work. Supports on dismiss on all types of navigation. For example, sheet and full screen cover do have an on dismiss. Navigation link doesn't have one. Type safe navigation, so you don't mistype any route that you are going to navigate to. Also, it is built in SwiftUI for SwiftUI, so no hacks, no UI kit under the hood. It's purely SwiftUI. Also, you can have pop to root, which we don't have in SwiftUI, pop to a view at index, which we don't have in SwiftUI, and pop any number of views, which we still don't have in SwiftUI. It's built in Swift 5.5 and SwiftUI 3. And there's an example Xcode project, and it is 100% documented. So if you are interested in this, how to make your life easier with navigation, by the way, navigation, it's like maybe 30% of your whole app. If you're interested in this, just keep on watching. I'm going to show you a step-by-step example of how to implement NavigationStack. Now, NavigationStack is, it does have a coupon code down in the description for 50% off. Go ahead and check out the link in the description where you can just purchase this at half the original price. Okay, so we are going to start off with a starter project, of course, that I have created, so we don't mess around with setting up UI and all of that. We are going to focus only on navigation, and you can find the starter project right over here. So it's at github.com/rebeloper/navigation-stack example demo. So this is where you can just clone this or download the zip file, or yeah, you can just do that for yourself. Now this works, it looks like this. So we have a model, views, containers, and the main, and basically that's it. Now I'm going to go through all of the files. Don't worry, you will know exactly what these do. For now, what we have here, if we just build and run, and let's do that on the simulator, we have a simple SwiftUI navigation. And as you can see, we have kind of this pattern where we just go from the first view to the second view. You will see that. So this is the SwiftUI first view, and if we want to navigate to the SwiftUI second view with the navigation link, this is how we would just do that. We just tap on it. We can just go back like that, or just tap on the dismiss. SwiftUI navigation view, SwiftUI second view presented with a navigation link and an isActive binding. Just do that like so. And now also we can present a sheet like that. We can dismiss that, or a full screen cover and dismiss that. Of course, the sheet is also swipeable down to dismiss. Now, this is the basic way of navigating in SwiftUI, and if you are just looking for that, then you're in luck. I'm just going to go through with it. So this is our SwiftUI first view. Let's have some more room here. And basically what we have here is it's quite a mess. Honestly, I don't really like it. it's counterintuitive, it's really hard to work with. So first of all, we have this navigation link with a label, and then it just has a destination of SwiftUI second view. This is the easiest way to create a navigation link. Now, the other way around, if we are creating this navigation link with an isActive binding, as you can see, we have this is navigation link active state variable, and we are toggling it upon the tap of this button. And as you can see here, we kind of have a hack for the label empty view. So actually the navigation link cannot be seen on our view. Still the destination is SwiftUI second view, but yeah, this is kind of hacky. Okay, finally we have this divider, so we can divide between those like navigation link and the sheet and full screen cover. We need to have a sheet view modifier. Of course, we are using again a state variable is sheet presented. The same goes for our second example is full screen cover presented. So yeah, we do need these view modifiers, which is kind of not like navigation links. So what gives? And the content is SwiftUI second view again. On dismiss, so we do have an on dismiss right over here on the full screen cover and on the sheet, but on the navigation link we don't have that kind of thing. So again, a little bit of strange things. So what if you just wanted to change, let's say, this sheet to a navigation link type of navigation? Well, you would just need to remove this button and create a navigation link for it. So it's really, really hard to work with. Trust me, I've been there. It's so frustrating to just move with these. And yeah, also we have a lot of state variables to handle. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. So what should we have instead of this? Well, today I'm going to show you that. And when you are going to make your purchase on the site, you will see these resources of the navigation stack. There are quite a lot of files right over here because, yeah, as you know, it's not that simple. But let me just drag and drop this into my project. And then I will just talk a little bit about how all of this works. Let's just see if it was added. Yes, there we go. So think of the navigation stack as a stack of views that will be presented upon an action, let's say a present action, or they would be dismissed upon a pop action. Now, how would we set all of this up? Well, right over here on the navigation stack example demo app, so on the app file, I have already added it here, and I'm just going to comment out things because it's much more important to explain to you how all of this works rather than just typing all of this out. So what you want to do, first of all, is have a navigation. So this is kind of, navigation is driving all of my navigation inside the app. And because we are having here a tab-based app, so we have a tab bar at the bottom, each of the tabs will have its own navigation, and these navigations live inside containers. So what we have to do is create the home container, the feed container, the post container, and the settings container. All of these four. Of course, the SwiftUI first view is just not inside the container. That's the fifth tab, which is outside of the containers. Okay, so let's take a look at the home container first, and let me just explain to you how all of this is built, and it's really, really straightforward. Of course, you will need to get accustomed to this, but once you do, it will be a breeze to add new elements into the navigation. So first of all, what is this? So actually, this is a view. So you will be able to use this on the content view. We will see that later on. Finally, we need an extension on the home container called a class on navigation called observable object. And here we just have an enum, just an enumeration of pages. Now page could be anything else. Make sure that you add that type into the navigation flow. But basically that's it. We need to create an enum for all the cases on this container. Let's say the home container will have the home first, that would be kind of the root, home second, home third, home fourth. Those are the views that we are going to present on this navigation. By the way, the order is not, so you don't have to have it here in order that you want to present it. We could start off with home first and then just jump right into home fourth it doesn't really matter. So it's that flexible. Now, finally, we want to have a published variable called flow, and it's a navigation flow. This is what will drive the flow of our navigation, and we are initializing it with a root, and let home first be our root. Now these are just enums, and this is just a published variable of flow. We don't see any views right over here. Well, because we are going to set it as an environment object, here in the container we will have access to this navigation that we just created as an environment object. Therefore we can create a navigation stack, which is a view, with that navigation's flow. And this will return us all of the pages. As you can see, we create all of this home first, home second, all of that. We switch through those pages, and according to which page should be presented, we just give it home first, present me the home first view, home second view, and so forth. So here I'm just putting in all of the views that I want to present inside this container. Again, the order doesn't really matter because we are going to build up the order when we are navigating away. And it's that simple. So now we have our home container. The same goes, let me just move to the feed container. Let's just take a look at the feed container also. So let's hit Command A and uncomment that. Here we just have two pages, feed first and feed second. On the posts container, let's just have that. So here we have post first and post second view, and then we have the settings container. Let's uncomment that. We have our settings first and settings second. Now I'm going to talk about these in just a moment, but for now let's take a look at the home container. Now this home container has this home first view and all of them. Let's take a look at our home first view. Okay, by the way, let's just where are these containers before we move on to the home first view? Where are these containers set up? Well, it's inside the content view. So here we have our tab view. Let me just comment these out. Basically, we just added them as the root of our tabs. So home container, feed container, and so forth. And finally, we have this navigation view as the fifth for the SwiftUI first view. Okay, so now if we build and run, we will see some sort of a lot more different app than we saw earlier. Oh, yes. So usually I get into this issue, and good thing that I have launched this, because most probably you will end up with this error. So it couldn't find the navigation. That's what it's saying right over here. So because we want to access the navigation on the environment object, let's just set that up. We do need to set it up, and that is right over here. So remember, we created that navigation extension on the home container, feed container. Now we are creating them as a state object and then setting them up as an environment object. And now if we build and run, we will be able to see all of these. So now we have this of a feed, and then we have persons and the feed of posts, and then the settings first, and then what you already saw. And right over here, push home second view and present home second view and pop. So with NavigationStack, there is only two ways you can navigate. You may present some other view, or you may pop it. Now, presentation and pop is a little bit more elaborate. So you may present as a push, so when you are just pushing those views on top of each other, or you may present a sheet. So basically like this up. Also a full screen cover. With a pop, you may pop one, or you may pop multiple, or you may pop to an index that you already basically know, or you may pop to root. So it's really, really powerful. So let's take a look at look now at our home first view. So right over here, we have our push home second view, which we would expect to just push it like so, and then the present home second view, which is kind of like a sheet. Of course, we do have a pop right over here. I'm going to implement the actual line of code, how we can pop one view, but because this is the root, it's so smart that it's not going to pop it from the navigation stack, because actually it is a navigation stack. We are stacking views on top of each other. So let's take a look at push home second view. Right over here, we have separately, as nice SwiftUI citizens, inside functions our actions. So it's really straightforward. So you just go home container navigation, because you did access it as an environment object right on top, and then access its flow and just present home second. And that's it. Let me just show it to you. Just one line of code. It's imperative, so you don't have to mess around with state variables and all of that stuff. Just go push home second view. How awesome is that? So great. How would we present a sheet? Well, it's pretty easy to do that. Again, is just using present home second. This time around, we are going to use an option. And this option has a style, and we have set it to sheet. Also, it has an on dismiss, so whenever we dismiss that, and whenever the navigation completed. So we could just, and this is kind of the more advanced stuff. Whenever this navigation completed, we can create another navigation. So we can present, let's say, the home third view and the home fourth view after that. So we do have this navigation completion that we can just stack one navigation after the other. You will see that on the deep link example. So we have this deep link and we're just going to navigate inside the app automatically. It's really, really cool. So for now, I'm just having this just printed out. Let's build and run and see how this looks like. So now we are presenting. It will just be a sheet popped all the way up and just pushing that down. Okay, so pop, how do we pop? Well, it's home container navigation .flow.pop. That's just it. We are just popping one view. Of course, because this is the root, it will not execute. So yeah, it will know that we shouldn't pop. If I tap on here, you see, it's just not popping, but we will pop on the next one. So the next one is our home second view. So right over here, again, we have push home third view, present home third view, and pop. And again, we are just going to comment these out. And let me just explain them a little bit. So again, home container navigation.flow, present, and oh yes, we do need to have this container navigation as an environment. So here we just have home third, and home third is requiring us to have a title. Let's just take a look at how we created this. So this is the case. It requires the title, and that the title right over here will be moved into the home third view. How cool is that? So we can just move. This is an example for moving a string. You will see more elaborate examples in just a second. So now on the home second view, we are just presenting the home third view with the title of Alex, for example. Also, right over here, we can also present a home third view as a sheet, and it is navigatable. Now, what does that mean? Navigatable means that we are going to have a navigation bar. And if we choose to, we may navigate on that presented sheet. So we may present think of like navigation link presentation. And also we have this pop. Let's check it out. So this will be really, really cool. So first of all, let's push home second view, and then let's take a look at pop. So it's really, really straightforward. So push and also present, and then we can just pop. Great. So if we push first and the home second view and then push home third view, it's as expected. And as you can see, the Alex that I have moved as a string has been added to that title. If we take a look at the home third view, you will see that it's actually used inside the navigation title. Let's just go back and see the present home third view. Now we have a sheet presented which also has Alex in its title. As you can see now, it is just set for large navigation title. But anyway, and yeah, that's it. Of course, we have taken a look at the pop. Now let's take a look at the home third view, because there are a lot more options that you can use with this type of navigation. So push home fourth view, the final view, home fourth view presented, and then again popping it. Present home fourth view. If you don't set an option, it will be just simple page navigation, what I call when we are pushing. And again, we want to have access to the environment object and popping. You could just omit the navigatable. By default, it's set to false. So yeah, this is what we have here. And finally, we have pop. I'm not going to show it to you as an example because you most probably know what would happen right now. Because on the home first view, we have quite a lot more. So first of all, again, let's have the environment object home container navigation available. And first of all, here we are always going to dismiss. So this view is all about dismissing. And first of all, we have this environment. This comes from SwiftUI free. It's just environment of dismiss. And this is the dismiss pop. And let's just go all the way down. And it's just using that dismiss. It's that simple. It's going to work. It's just going to dismiss one view. Now, if we want to pop only one view, this line, home container navigation.flow.pop, does the same thing. It's just going to pop back one. Also, we have three more. Let me just uncomment these because they are so powerful, and also have them available on those buttons. Okay, so we have first three of these. Pop last two. So this is really interesting. So you just go flow, pop, last, and two. And the pop style, I will talk a little bit about the pop style in just a second, but know that we are going to pop the last two presented views. This is really cool. And also we can pop to an index, and in this case we are going to pop back to index 1. So yeah, the second presented view. So it's really powerful. Also we have a pop to root, so we're just going to pop back to root. Now what is this pop style? If we jump to definition, you will see that it's a navigation pop style, and we do have two types of navigation, automatic or longest. Now, the automatic means that it's just it will try to pop back with an animation that is the shortest. So, and you will see from the fourth, it will just jump back to the first. If it's longest, it will just pop, animate, pop with an animation through all of those three views. So let's see this in action. Build succeeded. Now I'm just going to push for now. Push, and push. And we are here. Now if we dismiss, this is from panel SwiftUI, we just dismissed one. Now if we pop, it does the same thing, but we are doing it with NavigationStack. Now if we pop last two, let's see this. It's set on the pop style to be automatic. This is just a simple toggle. Pop last two. It should dismiss to the home second view. Let's see, home second view, and it's automatic. And let's move again back and pop to index 1, which is the same, by the way. So it is still the home second view. Pop to index 1. There we go. Now let's take a look at what this also, yeah, pop to root. Let's just finish with the popping. Pop to root. It will just pop back to the home first view, to the root of this container. Pop to root, home first view. Okay, so let's move this all the way up, and now let's change the pop style to longest. So pop last two, now we will have two animations, so 1 and 2, there we go. And let's just set this back to the longest. Same goes to pop to index 1, as you can see, really nice. And now pop to root, so it will just go all the way down to the home first. It's really powerful. Now, the cool part here is that this is also available for sheet type of navigation, or full screen cover for that matter. So let's present home second view, home third view, and then home fourth view. So as you can see, we just added a lot of sheets on top of each other. So yeah, let's just, it will do the same thing basically. Let's just pop to root. There we go. And it just popped to root. Now you saw that the dismiss type, the navigation, the pop style is actually automatic, but it's still navigated away with an animation. Now this is kind of the exception to the rule. When you are navigating away with a sheet, we do need to have that sheet animation to complete. It makes sense for the user also, the user experience, so that sheet just slides all the way up. Let's see that again. So present home second view, third, fourth, and let's pop to root. Really nice. Let's take a look at one of those, let's just pop last two, for example. Popping last two, and we are left on the home second. Really, really great. And finally, let's just pop all the way back. Now, the cool part here is it's not just working on sheets and navigation links, types of navigation. We can also combine these. So, wow, mind blow. So let's just push and then present and just push again. And now we are going to let's just pop to root. There we go. We just pop to root, and as you can see, it's just going all the way up. Let's just go kind of the other way around, start with presentation and then just push, present again, and pop to root. Now, it's as easy as that. Let's just push two of them and maybe present this one, pop to root. It just works as expected. Now, let's see those popping to indexes, or let's just go like so, whatever. Just do a random navigation of type, and then let's just pop last two. So one, and there we go. We just landed on the home second. Great. Let's just pop back. Let's just go the other way around, starting with the present, and then just push, and then maybe present another more, and let's pop last two again. Last two popped. Again, we are on the home second, but because this was presented inside the sheet, now we have that sheet presented. It's really, really powerful. So yeah, let's just pop that. Now, that's it for like kind of a breakdown of how powerful navigation can be. And again, I repeat that these are just one-liners. So you just have them inside the button action, or whenever you just want to navigate, let's say you're upon a data change. Okay, so we already saw that we can move data right over here as a string. But let's just see what we have on the feed first view. Let's take a look at the container first. So containers, feed container. You see, we have this string. It's a person. So we can have all of this inside a list. So lists are really cumbersome. So I just made sure that we can have all of this inside the list. As you can see, we have a for each with a feed, and I'm just going to have here a feed of an array of strings. Let's just have the feed container navigation available, and then when we did tap on that cell, we're just going to present the feed second with that person, of course, as a string. So now you know, yeah, you will be proven that we can move strings also inside a list. So person 1, for example, or person 10, it's really great. Or just scroll all the way, let's say maybe person, yeah, there we go. So it's really, really great. Now, let's take, and that's it for our, for the post, let's take a look at the post container. Here, you will see that we are passing along a post. That's an object. So that's a model. So it's identifiable, equatable, okay, and it has this title. So we are going to present the title. So in this case, I'm going to prove it to you that you can also move posts, not just strings in booleans. You can also move posts. So models, not just posts. Let me just go ahead here again. We have an array of posts right over here, which we have them inside the scroll view. This is an example for the scroll view because as list, scroll views are also picky. So we have the post container right over there. And whenever we did tap on that cell, we are going to, again, present the post second view with that post. Okay, so let's build and run and see how this looks like. So let's just go right over here. We have quite a lot of posts right over here. Let's post 33. And there we go. Post 37. And it's moving quite nicely. Now, finally, I want to kind of bind. So there is a lot of binding in SwiftUI. So I want to make sure that this also works with bindings. So let's take a look at the settings container. Right over here, as you can see, we don't have a post, but we actually have a binding of the post. So whenever we change something, the source of truth will change accordingly. So here, we just had a binding, and take a look at the setting view. We just have a binding of a post, and we have this text field, and whenever we type something into the text field, we want to have the source of truth changed, and that source of truth for that post is inside the settings first view right over here, and the title is just edit me. Okay, let's enable our environment object, and whenever we present the second view, this flow is going to be presented. I'm just having this inside the sheet, so I can just swipe it down. So let's see that. Let's see how this looks like. It's really, really cool, and it's really representing that binding is also possible with this kind of navigation. So post title, edit me. Okay, let's tap on present settings second view. It's just going to push that sheet up. As you can see, edit me is already in there. So well, let's just hit continue here, and let's just have in here edit me too. Okay, and when I swipe down, surprise, we have edit me too also, because this is the source of truth. It's inside the settings first view. It's really, really great. And that concludes our settings, like all of the data handling or data manipulation inside navigation. Finally, I want to give you kind of the crown jewels of NavigationStack, and that is handling deep links. Let's just go to the app file right over here. Usually you would just have an open URL with that URL, and then according to that URL, you will know where to navigate. Now, because I'm not going to set this up like handling URLs and all of that stuff, we're just sending a URL with a deep link. I just assume that you are going to know how to unwrap that deep link, and you are at that point you are going to know where you should navigate. And I'm just going to call the deep link function on the on appear. So whenever we just launch this, the deep link will be triggered. Okay, so here let me just uncomment this, and as you can see, let me just have some more room here. Right over here, first of all, I'm going to present the home second with an option of sheet. So we are just going to slide the sheet down, and after that, you see this completion? After that, again, I'm going to grab the home container navigation flow and present the home third view with the title of deep link. It's really, really cool. And that's why I really like to have these state objects created on the app file itself, because then I do have access to the on open URL, so I can just create these deep links. So let's build and run, and hands off. Let me see. There we go. As you can see, it's really, really working. We got that deep link, and now we are navigating away. Let me just show you that again, because it was really, really fast. There we go. We have that deep link. And if you do want to purchase NavigationStack, go ahead and check out the link in the description, or you could just go to store.rebeloper.com/navigation-stack, and you can get your copy in there. Navigating is really, really cool with NavigationStack, but if you do want to have a slide-in menu, check out this video right over here.